I've had a bit of a week. I nearly crashed out. So the topic of today is don't crash out. Stop crashing out. Stop crashing out. Stop crashing out. Stop crashing out. Like, stop crashing out. Whenever you feel like you're about to crash out, just come back and watch this video. If you've already crashed out, it's fine. You're gonna crash out once in a while. No matter how healed and peaceful and you are, you're gonna crash out from time to time. I didn't plan to make this video today. It's because, like I said, it's at the bottom of my list. So I was like, but I crashed out. I crashed out a little bit. Gotta keep it real. I'm not perfect. I know that I'm here to give words of wisdom. I know that I'm here to help somebody, if not a lot of people, okay, in different various ways, right? I'm just getting started, period. I feel like I have lots of purposes, but what I'm trying to say is, even though I be on here speaking and I try my best to push out positive, know your worth content, I ain't perfect. Sometimes I have to re-listen to my own advice. Sometimes I don't listen to my own advice. I don't want to be the kind of person that comes on here and acts like I'm just so, I got it all figured out, and yeah, like I never stress out, like I'm just so peaceful. If anyone stresses me out, I just cut them off. No, I'm just like you, you're just like me, period, right? We are one. Back to what I was saying, I had a mini-ish crash out this week over something silly. I'm not going to go into it. I wasn't in control of my emotions. I could have been in better control of my emotions, and I allowed a small-ish situation to really draw me out. I didn't act mad or anything, like it wasn't anything crazy big, right? But in that moment I had the opportunity to react better, and I didn't. After self-evaluation and realizing my faults, then I said, okay, here is where I could have done better. I did not need to do that. I'm better than that. I know my worth. Why did I do that? It was quite recently, so honestly I still look back on it and I'm like, why did you overreact? Like, I am a very dramatic person. I'm a very emotional person, and I feel like one of my biggest challenges in life is just being in control of my emotions. Like, I can't explain to you how emotional I am. Like, I feel every single thing so deeply to my core. It's why I'm scared of love. It's why I'm scared of so many things, because I don't play. Since being single and going through what I've gone through, I'm realizing there are still parts of me that I need to work on. There are parts of me that I worked on before, and it feels like because of that heartbreak or that stress that I went through, it's kind of reopened those wounds, and it's my responsibility to deal with that, okay? It's my responsibility to deal with how I react to situations. You can never control how things are. You can never control a situation, but the one thing you can do is control how you react. And it's so much easier said than done. I know you probably watch so much content and you're like, I don't know how to just detach and just relax and not to stress. I don't know how to just not crash out. Maybe crashing out is all you've ever known. Some of you may have grown up in environments where every single person around you constantly crashes out. Your mother crashed out on you, your dad crashed out on you, your friends crashed out on you. You've grown up in rough environments where everybody crashes out. So now you're in this adult life and you realize, okay, I'm an adult now. I have to control my emotions correctly. How do I not crash out? It's very, very hard. So first of all, give yourself some grace. If you have already crashed out, or you feel like you're about to crash out and you're struggling to control your emotions right now, let's give yourself some grace. This is your first time here on this world. It's all of our first times here. My friend was saying that to me the other day, like, it's your first time. It's our first time here, literally. So be easy with yourself. First of all, give yourself some grace. It's okay, right? I truly believe that even people that have highly mastered self-control, self-discipline, and peace, surely from time to time, even if it's extremely rare, they struggle with containing their emotions. Obviously, they deal with it probably way better. But we are human. We're social beings. We are full of emotions. And we are, unfortunately, living in a world now where we are actually being told to contain our emotions. The content going around is constantly be cold, be ruthless, you gotta cut people off, you gotta cut bridges, you gotta not show your love, you gotta play games, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And yes, that is life. to a certain extent. And yes, a lot of that is true. This is a game after all. Life is a game, to me anyways, right? We all have our different views on what we think this is. Nonetheless, none of us really know what we're doing here, surely. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what any of this is. I just know that I'm on something called Earth and we're turning about and there's just a ton of people and trees and countries and I'm just here trying to figure it all out. Back to what I was saying, give yourself some grace. Self-soothe yourself. Talk to yourself. I know people are gonna call you crazy. I know you might feel crazy talking to yourself, but sometimes you've got to talk to yourself. It's okay. I'm a bad... Guys, I don't swear. Well, I try not to anyway. I'm gonna be okay. I'm tough. I'm resilient. Yes. I'm everything. I am good. I'm gonna be good. Everything is okay. Everything is working out for me. I don't need to worry about anything because I'm protected and blessed from the Most High. Everything that I need, I already have, and everything is working out in my favor. What's meant to be will always be. What's not meant to be will not be, and that's perfectly fine because what is meant to be will be, and it will be better. Right? You gotta talk to yourself like that. I know, I look crazy. But you do, okay? Give yourself some grace. Don't beat yourself up. You're gonna crash out from time to time, right? But now that you've given yourself some grace, let's kind of look at the situation. Imagine that we are really in a predicament where you haven't crashed out yet, but you're trying not to. You're actually trying everything to not crash out on this person or about this situation, right? You've given yourself some grace. Just take a step back. If you feel like you're about to crash the hell out, let's take a step back. And I know it's hard in the moment because you want to say this, you want to say that. You want them to know how you feel right now. But let's take a step back. Let's reevaluate the situation. Let's wonder, what are we really crashing out about? In the heat of the moment and you're face to face or you're speaking with someone over the phone and this is to do with somebody and you're communicating with them, let's take a step back from them. Let's take a step back away from that situation. All right? Let's fall back. All right? This is what I'm going to be doing and what I try to do in my life. Let's fall back. Okay? Hey, right now I'm struggling to deal with my emotions. I'm struggling to contain how I feel. Can we speak in an hour or can we speak tomorrow? I really appreciate that. I'm telling you, withdraw yourself. Don't be silly and just stop talking to them and whatever, depending on the situation actually now. Sometimes you've got to just ghost people a little bit. You do, and I'll do another video on that. Sometimes you do have to ghost people just a little bit and you've got to not say anything, depending on how disrespectful they are. But if this is just, it's a bit of bad communication, it's a bit of just an argument, like it's not that deep. It doesn't involve ultimate disrespect and violation, right? Tell that person respectfully, I need to fall back a little bit, right? Once you've said that, you've communicated that, it's fine. Now, during this time where you've fallen back, give yourself an hour, 2 hours, or until the next day. Relax. Get a book, journal how you feel. Go to your notepad, journal how you feel. Record a video maybe, explain how you feel. Go to a friend, somebody, something. Let's just get the emotions out there. Everything that you want to say to this person or about the situation, let's get that out of our system in another way that doesn't revolve them, okay? Once you do that, you will feel at least a little bit better, right? You ain't gonna feel fully better because yes, you want your emotions validated, you want this person to know how you feel, you're probably mad at them, but getting out how you feel, whether it's to a friend, whether it's to a video camera, whether it's on your notes, you're gonna feel a little bit better. And you've subtracted yourself from the situation, so you don't have that energy, like their energy around you, okay? Like, it's hard, don't get me wrong, but your future self will thank you for this. Now you've got your feelings out there, let's just do something that we like have a cup of tea, go for a walk, go get a drink. I don't want to push alcoholic drinking when you are genuinely struggling mentally with something, because I don't think that's going to help. So I'm not going to be the person to tell you to go grab a bottle of wine if you don't know how to control yourself when you're under the influence. Because some of you like to get a bit of pink mascara and move mad. You like to get a bit of a drink and just move crazy because you can't control how you feel when you're under the influence. So if you're someone that can't control how you feel when you're under the influence of alcohol or whatever, I don't recommend during this during this falling back moment for you to go and get any alcohol, because you might end up contacting that person and moving a bit loco, right? Let's have a nice drink when you're a bit more settled down, when you feel less erratic, okay? So have a hot chocolate, have a coffee, go get a nice cake, treat yourself to something, have a nice bubble bath, meet up with a friend, indulge in some work, make some content, whatever it is you like to do, just for a while. Like, even go to the gym. That's an amazing thing to do. I love to do that. Like, just go to the gym and jump on a Stairmaster, right? Do something that is going to occupy you for a little bit. Watch a movie, right? So many things. Like, I write a list of little things you can do during that moment, okay? And just relax. Relax and do those things, okay? Now, I can guarantee you that when you're ready to speak to this person and confront the situation, you're going to confront the situation so much better. Your communication is going to be so A1. Do you not prefer being able to have a nice conversation with somebody, or a nice stern, firm, clear, adult-like communication, rather than just crash it out and moving mad? Because don't lie to me. When you crash out, you're embarrassed. I know you're so embarrassed. Like, every time you crash out, like, you feel so embarrassed after. You just want to dig a hole and crawl into the hole and just, like, die. Like, you hate it so much. Like, it's so flipping embarrassing. Like, it's actually embarrassing. I was embarrassed the other day. I actually wanted to just crash my car into a wall, because why did I do that? Before you crash out, think about how you're going to feel afterwards when you do crash out and you do look a little bit loco. Sometimes a little crash out is needed, okay? But majority of the time, we know that didn't deserve a crash out. Why were we moving mad? Why were we moving reckless? Like, come on, we're better than that. Me and you were better than that. We don't need to be crashing out. I'm not gonna stoop to that level. If you're around someone that's constantly crashing out on you, like they're moving mad, erratic, impulsive, and just crashing out on you, maybe it's time to reevaluate who you have in your circle, who you have in relationships and friendships with. Because best believe, I'm not around anybody, and I never will again be around anyone that continuously crashes the hell out on me as a grown adult, because they don't know how to regulate their emotions. Like I said, we are all human. I struggle to regulate my emotions a lot, guys. But I'm not out here crashing out on everyone and moving crazy and being rude and being mean and being low vibrational. No, I have my times when I'm a little bit emotional. I'm a crier, right? I'm a bit of a crier, and but even with that, I'm learning to control that, because it's just not needed in every situation, and a lot of the time it just takes your energy. Don't you just feel so ugly after you crash out? And if you're crashing out over a male constantly, like he's making you crash out, like, why are you doing this to yourself? The moment I'm with a guy, or I'm speaking to a guy, and I feel like they've made me crash out, not they've made me, because let's take responsibility for our own actions, right? Yeah, let's do that. But if I'm ever speaking to a guy and I constantly feel like I'm having this urge to crash out, and they're just no, 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 no. After like 1, 2, maybe 3 times, we gotta just, let's just dead this. Let's just forget this. This ain't gonna work, because I'm not that girl that crashes out, right? And a lot of the time, these men are not crashing out about us. A lot of the time, these men ain't crashing out about us. So why are we crashing out about them? I'm telling you, once you can control your emotions, so many more things will work in your favor. Honestly, yeah, because I've got to go. I actually have a job. But one thing I've learned how to do, and I'm still learning how to do, like I said, is learning your triggers. It's really important to learn what triggers you. So when you notice that, okay, this is something I don't like, or this is something that affects me, yeah, you already know how to handle the situation, because you know that this is going to trigger you. You've noticed it in the moment, and you know how to act, you know how to move accordingly. And don't do things that's going to make you crash out. Like going through his followings and looking at who he's following and who he's liking and all of that stuff. Like little things like this, just don't do things. Stop. Because all that's going to happen is you're going to message, oh my god, you're liking her picture, oh, you followed this new person. He's going to just say something, and you're just going to get mad. It ain't even worth it. It's never worth it. Right? The right people in your life ain't even going to make you feel like you need to crash out all the time. But for this video, I didn't want to push blame onto the other party. I kind of wanted to speak about how we can deal with our emotions in a moment, even if that person is wrong. We are always in control of how we react. Like I said, you will never be in control of the situation. but you will always be in control of how you react and how you express yourself and how you decide to feel and move in that moment. That's all up to you. But anyways, key point before I go, crashing out is never worth it. Majority of the time, you are better than that. You know how to control your emotions, and you know you're going to feel so much better when you handle things properly and you take a step back. So crashing out makes you feel very ugly. I've noticed as well, like I feel so hideous when I crash out. I feel like a man. I feel so masculine and ew. Alright, so if you're a woman watching this, you don't want to feel like that, do you? You don't. You don't want to feel dirty and masculine and just like, I hate it. So now, for me, whenever I feel like I'm going to crash out or I'm like really over emotional, I'm going to do something that I feel like I might regret, I'm really just going to remind myself, how the hell are you going to feel afterwards? You know you're not going to feel good, Annie. You're going to feel really upset and masculine and ugly because you always feel dirty when you crash out and you overreact, and then you look back the next day, it's like, why did I act and do that? And sometimes that guilt and that feeling can just eat you up and swallow you up. But going back to what I said as well, remember that you are human. This is your first time here. Give yourself some grace. It's okay. Even myself, guys, I'm gonna go now, but trust me, get out in nature as well. I keep saying this. Get out in nature. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Get out in nature. I don't know when I'm going on my next hike, but it's going to be soon because I need to be around trees. I need a stream. I need to see some animals. I need to recoup constantly. Like, I need it. Like, that's why I'm definitely going to make sure I have my house in the country with my animals and my little stream and my little stuff. Then I'm going to have my skyrise or my cute penthouse city apartment, and then whenever I'm feeling like overwhelmed and stressed or I want to crash out, I'm just going to go to my country home. Do you get what I mean? Anyways, don't crash out today. Love yourself today. Mwah.